Before we get officially started our meeting today, I'd like to ask Commissioner Thursby if he'd lead us in a pledge of allegiance. I'd ask the city manager Jim if he'd lead us in prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for everything you give us. We ask that you be with us tonight as we do the work of the city of Port St. Joe. We ask that you give us wisdom, lead us and guide us in everything we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, I now call this meeting of the Port St. Joe City Commission to order.
Mayor, if I can call Commissioner Brazette real quick.
Sure, go ahead. Everybody else will be just looking over the consent agenda. Wait till we get him on the phone, the motion and a second, all that good stuff.
Commissioner Brazette,
Yes, sir.
we got you online. We're about to begin.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, as I said, the consent agenda from the regular commission meeting on 10/4. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Thursby, second by Commissioner Ashbrook. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. All right, is Bill here today on the Port St. Joe redevelopment? All right, let's skip over that, and Mr. City Attorney, we'll go with you.
First item is Shipyard Cove. Mr. Coran canceled that hearing that was set for the 11th. No word from him or his attorney on why or whether it might get rescheduled. So nothing to report on that.
You know, I think he did come by my office on Friday and told one of my employees that he wanted me to call him, but he didn't leave me his phone number, and I don't have his cell phone number on the speed dial. So, but I'll try to get up with him just to see what he wants to talk with me about, and if I can shed some light to you, I will. But
Okay.
I ain't got it with him. All right.
Resolution 2016-09 is on the agenda. This is dealing with the non-departmental appropriations and some changes on the water bill.
Mayor, I'd like to comment on that. Of course, it's been kind of my baby the whole time. Like the motion, make the motion that we read the resolution and that the city staff come up with the mechanics of how it's going to be listed on the bills and bring back next meeting a sample copy of a utility bill showing how it's going to be listed.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Brazette. Do we have a second?
Second for discussion.
We have a second for discussion from Commissioner Ashbrook.
I think one of the questions that we need to ask on this is, are we going to give an option to pick one of these organizations, or is it a donation to all? And I think for billing wise, Jim, you were saying that it's a lot easier for your staff to just put it in one pot rather than 7 separate pots.
That is the thinking right now, yes, sir. What we're talking about doing is trying to come up with some sample language on there and trying to come up with drafts and bring it back to the next meeting. But yes, sir, that is the thinking now. Instead of having 7 or 8 ring-up codes, if you only had one, and then you could decide at some point as to how much you want to give to each. That's the initial thinking.
Okay.
The way it's written, you make a donation and then the city commission determines how it's split up.
Okay.
Good with that.
Second stand?
Yep.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Resolution 2016-09, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Port St. Joe authorizing the inclusion on city utility bills of a voluntary charge to be paid in addition to monthly utility charges, authorizing city staff to determine appropriate forms and processes for collecting said voluntary contributions, providing for the use and distribution of said voluntary charges, identifying certain non-departmental appropriations for which said voluntary charge may be used, providing for an amount which may be charged, and providing for an effective date. Third thing on the lagoon study, got an email from William Harrison a couple of days ago. to the effect that Eastern Shipbuilding is focused on the things that they need to do on the bulkhead site and are not going to pursue the lagoon study at this point. And I think we can probably just notify DEP that we have no objection to them taking us out for this particular grant cycle.
Well, and that's my understanding too, Tom, is that right now we're just at a point where we're not ready to move forward on that. They're gonna put it on the mill site, their attention right now on that, and try to get something going, but that doesn't mean we're not gonna get jobs out of it.
Right.
They're just focusing on that part of it, and at a later date, if we can resubmit this thing if we need to.
Yeah, I would say we need to keep the option open.
A couple of things that I've got that are not on the agenda. The first one is, I got a call yesterday from a guy named Riley Davis, who's an attorney with one of the big Tallahassee law firms. He has been retained by Chad Mack to look into the granting of a business license for the funeral home on 10th Street. He is asked for the copy of the information that the Macs passed out at one of the meetings. So if any of y'all still have that information, if you get it to Charlotte.
Well, if he's acquired him, wouldn't it be his responsibility to furnish that to his attorney, not ours?
If he makes a public records request, we have to honor it.
Has he done that?
He hasn't done it yet. We're trying to get in position because we've got, we have a problem with this that we're gonna have to address. My understanding is that the funeral home folks have not yet finished the building department requirements, so they're not, at this moment, prepared to go in business. But that thing's gonna, we're going to have to address that issue again in the pretty near future.
And it's your recommendation that we go ahead and start sending paperwork and that, or just wait?
No,
until,
we're not going to respond to until we get a formal public record request. We're not going to respond to it. What I'm asking y'all is, when they passed that information out the other day, they didn't give Charlotte a copy of it.
Okay.
And so,
We need it for us
unrelated to, and so if y'all have it, please get it to her. Unrelated to the funeral home and anything else, in the future, if somebody comes to the podium and they pass information out among y'all, please make sure that Charlotte gets a copy of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we need just staff right off the bat, just let them know that y'all need a copy, so.
But sounds like a pretty reasonable likelihood that we're going to get sued over this funeral home issue.
And we've already issued the business license.
Yes, that is correct.
At this point, do we need to notify the funeral home folks of the pending lawsuit, so they possibly won't continue spending money and they may not be able to operate?
That probably wouldn't be an unreasonable way to proceed, to let them know that our decision may not end up being the final decision. I'd hate for them to continue to spend money if the judge is going to say we stepped outside the lines.
Right.
Tom, how quick do these type things usually take place? If he's just started now, at what point would a judge make a ruling on this ordinarily, as the way things have?
Well, I mean, if at whatever point they have all their ducks in a row, at that point is when he probably files a lawsuit. We have 20 days to respond to it, and we evaluate it and say, we can win this thing, let's go on down the road, or we're gonna lose this thing, let's back up and punt and not, cost us as little money as possible going down the road.
And they did prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that being by a funeral home lowers their property value.
There was no information provided by them, by city staff, by anybody else, by the funeral home folks, other than there was approximately a 6.5% reduction in fair market value for being next door to a funeral home. And you've got to find, as a matter of, based on some evidence, that their property value's not gonna get hurt.
Yeah, and there's no way that, and I addressed this in the meeting, there was no way you could justify a reduction in comparables around the area, the local area, and that was my vote on it.
I know.
But the other thing I don't see is, we basically approved it, I don't see how we can go back on what we've approved, I guess unless a ruling from a judge.
Well, at some point, if you get sued, one of the first evaluations that's gonna happen is, are we gonna win this thing or are we gonna lose it? If we're gonna lose it, we don't want to spend a year litigating because we're going to end up paying the attorney's fees for the other side.
Well, we have Florida League of Cities take a look at this yet, or is this something?
We haven't received
All
anything.
that's preliminary? So can we just kind of like table this situation for 2 weeks, or you just bring it up? What do you?
Yeah, I'm just telling you what's happened in the last 2 days. I did not anticipate that there would be any kind of action tonight. If you want to have a workshop on this, if you want to put it on the agenda in 2 weeks, we'll do whatever.
You would just keep us posted, and if the mayor sees that after we receive the information that we should call a workshop, I think that would be the thing to do.
Okay?
What do you think, guys?
Yeah, we can do that. But, when I get on the 6.5% drop, I just talked to someone today, bought a house, right beside a funeral home. They said that person they bought that house on surely didn't lose no money. So that's all I'm basing it on. That person bought a house right beside it about 11 years ago.
Okay. You learned that today.
Yeah, let's learn that.
Okay, so when we made the decision, the evidence wasn't there.
But I was confident that they didn't really show us proof that it does drop 6.5. They couldn't show me a house that's been sold next to a funeral home or 2 houses from a funeral home that I know of to prove their point, is all I'm saying.
Well, I'll keep y'all posted and we'll just see how it plays out.
Okay. Sounds good.
Last thing on my agenda, I sat at my first city commission meeting in 1984. I have had a wonderful run. Billy Joe and Russ did a lot of meetings over that period of time, but there hadn't been a week go by since then that I hadn't been working on something for the city of Port St. Joe. I've gotten to work with y'all and some great people on city staff and other city commissioners, but I think it's time for me to ride off into the sunset. We will do whatever is necessary to make this a very smooth transition, but I'd like to be out of it by the end of the year. So anything I can do to help move that along, y'all let me know.
We appreciate it.
I'm certainly sorry I'm not there tonight to be live in person with you making that announcement. I'm sorry that you are. But my God, you've done a wonderful job for us, and I hope between now and the end of the year you'd reconsider that, because you've got a wealth of knowledge of how we work and how the city works. So hopefully maybe you can change your mind. We appreciate what you've done. I appreciate what you've done.
Thank you.
You've always been there to answer questions and, for for nothing. You don't bill us for that, and, we got a hell of a deal. Hate to lose it.
Thank you.
And I think, Tom, we all feel the same way. I certainly do. You know, I've had a good experience with you the 5 years I've been on the board. And,
Well, I appreciate
don't
that.
always see eye to eye, but we always agree to disagree if we have to.
Jim, do you mind, I can't really hear the commissioners. Is the phone right there at you, or is it at the commissioner?
Let me put it in front of the mayor for you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Tom, I agree. I as well. The short time I've had to work with you here, and but at my real job, my paying job, I enjoy working with you there as well. We don't always see eye to eye there, but I do enjoy working with you.
Well, I appreciate that. If you let me jump down to the Tatton Park old business, we closed the last sale today. So all of those lots are gone. We'll have a check to Jim in the morning. And we're out of the residential real estate business for a little while.
We did good, didn't we?
If we just had a commissioner that would get our prices right,
See, but we came out good on that disagreement.
we did.
Oh,
You were
everybody
right. You were right.
All right. Anything else, Tom?
That's all I got.
So, we can't have your services till the first of the year there. if we need it,
Absolutely.
Right?
Russ may be at a meeting or two between now and then, but we're on board till the end of the year.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, Jim?
Yes, sir. The last meeting, staff was directed to contact Ms. Burke in reference to the Commerce Park lot listing agreement. We have contacted Ms. Burke. She has proposed an agreement that has been given to you. Also, she got an offer today. I think we also have Mr. Williams here today. He may want to talk to you about it, but I just got a copy about 4:45, and I gave you all a copy of that too. Ms. Burke's going to try to be here, but she was in Panama City.
All right. Is there anything in there that blurs out at us for any reason that we should look at in here, or is it?
It's hot off the press.
What's
Just
the listing agreement?
The listing agreement is actually in your packet.
Okay.
It's actually in your agenda pack. That was given to us last week by Ms. Burke on there. The one thing that was different from your motion on there was the 1.5%. The motion was, if you look at page 1 of your actual minutes from the last meeting, that's the actual motion in there, was that if it was brought back with a agreement, tentative agreement with Mr. Williams, that your realtor would not get paid the 1.5%, but I would recommend that you pay this.
Yeah, I definitely would. I didn't
If
mean
you
for it
work
to
out an
come out
agreement.
that way. I mean, I thought that if we were selling it, then we would do the one be the selling, but if she's gonna handle the paperwork, you can't beat 1.5% anyway.
I'm fine with that. Do we need it? We'll go ahead and make a motion on that first.
One thing on the contract, and I'm glad Frankie's here, the last page, paragraph 20, the additional terms, we have no documentation that there's no contamination. We bought this property in St. Joe Company subdivision. We sold a piece of it to Frankie a few years ago. We've never done anything on our piece of property, but we don't have any kind of documentation.
I just don't want nothing to come back in the future with any contamination that I'm responsible for.
Well, the way the contamination rules work is that it'll be you and it'll be us and it'll be St. Joe Company. It's everybody in the line, but
I mean, I don't foresee anything, but
Right.
I just, I don't think there's ever been any kind of waste from the wastewater plant or anything like that dispersed over there or anything. I don't think it'll be anything. All I've ever known has been just vacant land and
Right.
some old hog pens years ago that back here.
Well, what kind of money are we talking about, Jim, to do that?
We probably need to talk about the agreement first, don't we?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, if that's not something that Frankie's willing to live or die over, because I don't know what kind of money the study. Frankie, have you ever heard what the study?
I hadn't heard nothing. I just didn't know if the city had ever done something on it at one time or if anybody knew.
No, I think to our knowledge, we can all say that.
Well, I'm fine with that then if y'all.
I think back through '84, Tom can sign a piece of paper that says, to his knowledge, that.
Well, I mean, St. Joe Company went through the planning process with that subdivision, and it's not a platted subdivision, but everybody that's back in there has bought, and I'm not aware of any of them that did any serious environmental work. But the banks are lending money, and the property's been changing hands for some years.
All right, so, we just need a motion to accept this contract.
I'll make the motion that we accept the contract for the $50,000, and I don't know if I want to make that part of my motion that we pay the 1.5%.
I would, since it was in the addition.
Okay, so we'll accept this contract as is,
All right,
excluding the back page on the,
And the
Environmental.
additional term.
you okay with that, Frank?
Yes, sir.
all right, we have a motion by Commissioner Thursday, we have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry.
Mayor, can you, repeat the motion for me, please?
The motion is that we accept the $50,000 for that parcel of land, and that the page in the back, we start doing the environmental thing, that it's no longer exist. Frankie's not worried about that.
We pay the commission to.
Right, right.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion?
Bring the gavel and say something.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0, it's sold. Thank you, sir. So we had to go through such an ordeal to get it, but we got it done.
I appreciate it. We just really wanted you to come to the meeting.
All right, Jim.
Yes, sir. The next item, Mr. Gibson's already addressed, the Pack Park lots. Kudos, good job, everybody. I would have
Yeah,
never
no.
made, we would have got all that money back at them, but
Yep.
it turned out well.
Yeah, and I tell you, I want to tip my hat to our realtor.
Yeah, she did a
She did a
fantastic job.
fantastic job, working company, and, I mean, she kept us updated on it. She, you know, I don't know if I've ever heard of selling 6 lots and not having to cut the price on not one of them. I mean, that's incredible, y'all.
You're right.
And I didn't realize the deal we were getting from her as far as the fees.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great deal, and I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah,
appreciate
me too.
that.
Last thing, one of the lots, one across Red Woods, already back on the market for $85,000.
Dang, we sold it too cheap.
The market, yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, left money on the table.
What, $75,000, back in the city, so
Right.
we're getting that again.
Right.
We did.
All right, next, Jim.
The next item is the WIG building lease agreement. We've had it on for the last couple of weeks on there. To my understanding, the WIG organization has also contacted the Workforce Board. I think they've worked out all the details, and to my understanding, I think Commissioner Bezet actually had met with them too, that everybody is okay with the lease agreement as is, to my understanding.
Yeah, my understanding, I talked to Joanne White, with the food bank folks, they just it's not gonna work out to get more room out of the WIG building, so my recommendation is to, just, sign the, authorized big lease, just like it has been in the past.
Did we ever try to work out something on, once in a while, somebody using that kitchen?
Now, that would actually be on the actual, the Workforce Board lease on the gym. This is actually just the WIG building itself.
Oh, okay.
Just a little building in the middle.
Then we get to that one.
When
That
that
one
lease
comes due
agreement
in-
comes up, let's all sit down and talk about that.
Okay. It comes due in February.
February?
Remember that, Jim?
All right.
So we need a motion to approve the WIG lease for another year.
Yes. Yes.
So moved.
My second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Zed, a second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
The last item we have under old business is the Tom Duda Parker Park dedication. We had it scheduled a few months back. Mr. Parker was unable to make attendance on that date, so we have rescheduled, talked to Pam. We are having it scheduled for 11/4 at 10 o'clock.
Mr. Thursday, you have to fill in for me, because I have to be at 4 a.m. for some Virginia I was creating. So I'll be in Tallahassee on that day.
I'll be in Arkansas that day.
Ooh,
Well, on everybody.
I'd rather be in Tallahassee. All right, next.
All right, on the new business, we've got one item tonight, Mayor. It's a fee waiver request from the North Florida Child Development and from Mr. Chester Davis to Northport St. Joe.
One is for the Centennial Building and the other one's for the Washington Gym.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Are we gonna do them together or separately, or how are we doing, Mr. Mayor?
We can do them together, and then we need, now the fee, we talked about,
It would waive the regular fee, but there will be a $200 deposit. If everything checks out clean, when it comes back with the
They'll
keys
be
returned, they will
reimbursed.
be reimbursed the $200.
that'll be in my motion. I'll make that motion.
all right, we have a motion from Commissioner Lowry. Have a second?
I'll second that.
Second from Commissioner Thursby. All in favor say aye. Aye. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir,
Okay. Motion passes 5-0.
But, hey, can we back up real quick on something? Kim, on the, Tom Duder Park dedication, Croft, yeah. Can we do something in the paper for that dedication on 11/4, maybe mention it in the paper so we can let, because a lot of people knew Mr. Parker.
Yeah, we were all set the last time.
Okay.
Just moved everything forward.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, I believe Ms. Burke just walked in. You want her to stay around till the end of the meeting, or you want?
Yeah.
She, no, I mean, what was it, tell her that,
Tell her-
sold
Give her
it?
an update on what we just did.
Sale went through,
You sold it.
and we agreed to pay you your commission as you asked for, which we thought you deserved. And we all said how grateful we were to you for all the lots over at the hospital, that we got all of them sold, money back in the bank that we loaned to tear that hospital down and different stuff, and we just wanna let you know how grateful we are for the work that you've done. Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it. Great.
very
deal you
much.
did.
And you cut us a good deal, and we certainly appreciate it.
All right?
Ms.
Thank
Burke,
you.
one thing that was removed too was item number 20.
Yeah.
That was removed. Both parties agreed to mutually remove that from the contract.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Spring.
Mayor, before we move on, I'm having a very difficult time hearing everybody back and forth, Jim, over there, barely hear him. So, appears just about covered everything except for departmental. Before I leave you, because I can't hear what's going on too much, I would like to say, I know if we get down to this, to be heard, is, I think we'll talk about the boat ramp and boat ramp fees and what we're gonna do down there. I do think we need to have a workshop on that, so whenever y'all wanna have it, I'll be willing to be there.
Are there any dates you can't have it?
Excuse me?
Are there any dates you cannot have it? That you're not available?
Probably not,
Okay.
unless it's a Monday, but I work on Monday.
Okay.
What days you got?
Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Okay, I just checked.
All right.
So anyway.
Okay, well, appreciate it.
I'm available and, we'll bid you guys goodbye and talk to you later.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoy the beach.
All right. All right, where we at?
Public Works.
Public Works. You anything, John?
Yes, sir. We got one item on there, Mayor. Inmate van. We put it in the budget for this new year. It's time to purchase another one. It took several months last year to get our vehicles in, so we would like to go ahead and have permission to go ahead and order up that inmate van on state contract. The total price is $28,269,000. That would be for the
And that's in the budget, right?
Right.
All right, we have a motion to do it.
So moved.
I'll take this.
Go ahead.
I have a motion by Commissioner Ashbrook, we got a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Thursby. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Jim,
Yes, sir.
just for the future, and it's no big deal at all, but any of these items like the van or something that we've already approved on that budget, if you guys see fit to go ahead and do something on that, when we approve that budget, we've also approved these buys. Myself, I'm fine with y'all just doing that.
We'll just try to keep y'all informed. We want to
I
make sure
know
y'all
and I appreciate that, but don't let it stall you in any way. When we approve that budget, if we go through all that stuff, that's part of it,
Appreciate
so
it.
I'm okay with that.
All right. Thank you for the support.
All right. Anything else on Public Works? That
Yes,
it?
sir. That's all.
Yes, sir, Larry.
Mr. Mayor, unless y'all have questions, I don't really have a report for tonight.
How are we coming on the filters?
That's in the,
We're out to bid for it.
It is after this.
When do those bids due?
I think it's the first week of November.
It's for the store costs and new several months.
See you later.
that's it.
Appreciate your work.
Kevin, what's your?
Up and running, everything's working like it should. The pump that we approved hasn't got to us yet. Still waiting on bowls, which a couple more weeks, and then they'll come together. Around to us.
How's our little test section doing?
They actually were on the pond today, but I don't have results on analysis yet.
No solar on it?
They went with their sonar and still have the results from what they. Hopefully we get that.
Appreciate your work.
Any more questions? Okay. Thank you, Kevin. All right, Mr. City Engineer.
Yes, sir. I don't have a whole lot for you tonight, other than say we're working on everything on this, but the Garrison Avenue, I mean, you're waiting on your CEI RFQs to come back in the end of this month, and then you make a decision to move forward. In the meantime, we've sent the notice of award to C.W. Roberts, so we're getting their contracts all ironed out and worked up. The boat ramp, FWC, we look back at the grant language after last meeting, FWC's gonna have to approve the plan, so we're getting those shipped off to them and let them look over and review them and get their approval back, we'll advertise it. A couple of the items we did, I talked to Duke Energy about lights, so Dwayne Butler's working on getting a price and a layout put together, so I can bring that back to you whenever he gets to that. But the request's been made, and then the other was on the rip wrap and cleaning that up. And my thoughts on it, and I'll do whatever you want me to, my thoughts on it are, there's probably a couple places down there that are obvious that you can clean up that would help the looks. I don't know that I would jump off into trying to redo that whole jetty. It's been there, at least for my lifetime, with no issues that I'm aware of. And certainly there's gonna be a cost for that. It can be done, it's just, there's a cost for that. I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at with it, but I'll proceed on however y'all want. Because I certainly understand the thoughts behind it.
Yeah, and maybe we could look at it from a process instead of doing it all, maybe just camouflage the front side of maybe that far side with some, but I mean, if we get the numbers back and the rocks are taking up too much of our money, I don't want to do it either.
Yeah.
I just don't have a clue of what that would cost.
It's looking at it. One of the concerns I have looking at it is some of that is just poured concrete. It's not even sidewalks been dumped in. It's been just poured concrete. And so what do you get into when you start digging that out? How far back into the jetty does it go? And you know, you only see rocks here, but it may be back here that the grass has grown over. And I think that is the case in some places. And so what do you get into when you start tearing out? That's the fear I would have.
What would you have to tear out?
To get it regraded and to get some other rocks in there, to get it done right to where we feel comfortable it's going to stay, I think you do. I think you got to get the majority of them out. But I mean, it's functioning is the good news. I understand it's probably not the most aesthetically pleasing thing, but it functions. And it's not a maintenance problem right now. But you know, that's kind of my thoughts after walking it and actually looking at it. Those are my thoughts on it.
Well, you know, you jumped right over the golf cart crossing.
Golf carts.
I didn't hear you mention it.
No, I apologize.
I can tell you, I'm hearing about it.
Secretary Barfield is the last signature. That's what they told me today. It's on his desk. And
I know you're working on
we'll
it.
reach out to him because I think he's leaving here in the next couple weeks anyhow. So we'll reach out to him.
I guess the question I get is probably to be addressed to the chief. Can people start crossing right now?
We'll wait till you get up here. All right. Is that it?
I think that's everything else is in the works.
What'd you say was going on with Long Avenue?
Long Avenue, we're working on the water line part of that. That's what y'all told us to get loose on. And so we're working on it, and we're working on it with public works. So where the line needs to go, yada, yada. So it's important. That's what it is, as long as I do water is important.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Code enforcement, you have the update on the back page, but Jim, what about 303 Avenue C? Have we been able to get anybody to, do this work that we need done, or the lady that owns the property, they've done any more?
Yes, sir. We actually got an email this afternoon from the property owner wanting us to go by and take a look at it. Me and Ms. Pierce went by when we were setting up about 4 o'clock today. There has been some work done. There's probably 20 or 25 bags that are pulled out by the alley. There's a trailer with some materials in it, and there's about 2 piles still there. They have made some progress, and yes, we have contacted somebody about trying to clean it up. We had to look high and low to find somebody, but the cheapest price we found is about $800. You're to the point now where the bags up front, we could do a special pickup and we could pick up those 20 to 25 bags up front, but there's still a couple of piles that still need to be addressed, man.
Ms. Rogers sent me a text before the meeting, right before the meeting, said she had it cleaned up, but she had bags, basically, I'm assuming on the right of way.
They're about 20 or 25 at 4 o'clock.
But it seemed like in her text, she thought that it was just gonna be a typical garbage pickup, which I know that's not the case.
No, sir, not by the pile we looked at today.
So,
Because we can't carry those to our yard debris pile, those would have to be carried in a roll-off. So, yes, sir, we'd have to pay for tipping fees for those, so.
I mean, I think we decided at the last meeting to go ahead and have someone go out and clean it up. It's not our $800. I mean, she's got to pay for that. But that was the will of the board last time. I don't think that it's changed.
I was hoping that she would have it
Yeah.
completed by
We
this
did.
meeting, and if she hasn't, then I think we need to stick with our initial plan.
yeah, I think everybody wanted to give her an extra effort.
Yeah, and I think we should, we give her 2 weeks.
We can get after it tomorrow if it's the will of the board. What we're looking at is we can go by, we can do a special pickup for the bags to pick up based on tipping fees, and then we'll have to pay for those extra 2 piles if they're still there tomorrow.
I need some help.
Sir?
Rob,
I said you need some help.
I heard that. All right, anything else on the code enforcement? Police department.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything tonight unless the board has questions for me.
Any questions for the
Good,
chief?
everything going smooth?
Everything's going smooth.
Good.
No
How's
rash
our-
or break-ins nowhere?
How's our new guy?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Good.
All right.
All right.
You can breathe.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Charlotte?
Yes, sir, the planning board membership, page 22 in your agenda packet. We need to make a decision tonight in order to have a quorum for our meeting if we have one next month. Y'all had asked for some information and was provided.
As I said earlier, I talked with the chairperson, and I think 9 sometimes is harder to get a 4. They think 7 would be ideal. And as I said, we had one person that was dropping off that did not wish to serve again. And to me, the thing we need to do is, we said before, is look at the ones that are on there and just go by who's attended the least meetings.
Did we do that, Ms. Charlotte? Did you?
All
get
that was
that?
provided and put in
I
your
know.
mailbox, yes,
I
sir.
didn't, I hadn't looked at it though.
Yes, sir.
Do we, y'all know who?
There's one individual that only attended 2 out of the 7 meetings.
Jim, what was your suggestion the other day about letting the ones serve and then the other ones falling off the next year?
You've got 4 that have shown interest to continue on there. If you did that, that would have 8 on there. A lot of times one member's not able to get, so the chances of getting an even number are there. So if you wanted to, you could push this back till next year when some of the other members are come forward. When they're due again, if you wanted to roll one off in.
I'd say let's roll with that.
You don't need to worry about even and odd numbers. There was only one meeting that everyone on that board attended, and that was when
It's hard to get, and these people, they're all volunteers, so
Right.
we're appreciative of our offer.
Well, I mean, I can go along with everybody wants to go.
You need a
on.
motion?
We'll continue with 8 until they fall off, but,
I'll make a motion, we'll leave at 8.
I'll got a motion by Commissioner Lowry, got a second?
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Third. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, yesterday I went to Tallahassee, the Grant Review Commission, we presented our Centennial Grant request. There are 88 applicants this year. They've never had 2 days and a half of another day just to hear them. So I don't anticipate even knowing how we rank till maybe next week. Then, if you are ranked fairly high up in it, you won't know until the legislature meets. They don't even convene until March, depending on what they allot for that program, where you rank. And then if you are still in the area where there is money, you have to survive the governor's veto. So maybe by July, you would know how we did. And the money, they say, oh, it's available July 1. Well, it's usually October by the time they get the contracts and everything. So we'll know maybe next week, how we ranked.
Will that help us any though next week when we find out, how we rank?
No, so not really.
We gotta go through another
No.
process?
You
That's
just
what
keep
I'm reading
waiting.
You're
Yes,
saying,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's all I have, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Have we heard anything on the CDBG grant?
The last meeting we had a field visit here. We were hoping to have a final decision by Thanksgiving was the last meeting.
Okay.
All right. Citizens to be heard. Anyone like to be heard tonight? Come on up.
Well, I just gotta, hopefully can encourage the commissioners to have a workshop, in the near future about how we're gonna, take care of the money raised by the boat ramp. And I would like to make a couple of just quick comments first. I think we need to make this workshop very narrow, focused on specifically how we're going to use the money and how we're going to keep it segregated.
Dr. May, would you please, it's hard for us to pick it up from back there. Thank you.
And I think we're all pretty much in agreement we want to have a workshop.
I think so too, and I just, that's just my recommendation is that we don't get involved in designs and plans and gazebos and,
Right.
let's try to keep it pretty focused and quick. I know you guys got a lot to do, but come up with a reasonable way to segregate, protect the money and give the city some flexibility with it, and then also be able to take something in writing to the stakeholders and the citizens of the city that guarantees that these funds are going to be used in a responsible way in perpetuity. I know, Tom, you got a lot to do, but is there any website or do you guys have access to see it? Is there a city charter somewhere that has already done this? And maybe, we wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel, but we could just take a document from another town that's kind of already jumped through these hoops?
Well, we certainly can look and see what's out there. What I'm afraid we're gonna find though is that this is something that 3 commissioners 10 years from now can change if they decide they want to change it. We can do a resolution that segregates this money and identifies where it can be spent and all of that kind of thing. And that policy is fine until
It gets voted down.
3 guys decide to change it.
Yeah, okay.
We would hope nobody will do that, but it's
Well, I mean,
always a possibility.
Is that basically the end of the story? I mean, there is no other way to add a little bit more teeth to a resolution? Can you at least get a consensual thing, or is that impossible to do?
We'll need to do a little research.
Okay.
I mean, we may be able to require a supermajority or something like that
okay.
to undo it.
Anyway, that's what I was hoping we could hash out, and I don't want to waste a bunch of your time, but I'm hoping we can get that, make that happen.
Go ahead and set the workshop.
Yeah, I was just looking at the calendar.
That's fine with me.
Stay off on Mondays.
Let's do it far enough in advance to give people some time.
I was looking at
get the
November.
word out there.
When you looking at November?
Maybe November.
Second meeting, I won't be here in November.
November the 8th, PSGRA meeting day, we can do it before that.
I mean, before?
Or after, whatever meeting's at 5.
What y'all think?
I'm fine with that. You gonna be
What day
here?
is
It would be November the 8th,
November the 8th.
November.
second Tuesday in November.
No, that is election day, y'all.
That's
already
right. That's election day.
day. I'm gonna be out waving and everything. Not really.
We do it Tuesday before Thanksgiving?
Can't do it.
22nd.
See, I'll be back in town, I could do
You don't want to do it here during a meeting? Is that what you normally do, a workshop?
No,
No.
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 It'll be on another day. I can do it anytime from the 20th on.
We can do 22nd.
22nd, 7:30 a.m. Ashbrook won't be here.
7:30 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah, I could do it on the 21st.
That's Monday.
I could do it on the 18th. I'll be back, supposed to be back in town on the 17th. But that's a Friday.
Yeah, but didn't one time you go somewhere and then it was like you lost your tickets or something to Hawaii and you was a week late or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's don't take no chance.
I'm not going anywhere, guys, so
Well,
I have no conflicts.
All right.
I'm gonna do it on the 8th, 9th, 10th. You know what you know what to do.
What about 22nd?
The 8th, I'd rather not do it. We probably cancel our PSAO meeting that day too.
The 22nd though.
22nd is on a Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
All right, 7th.
That's my birthday.
And that's a,
I don't care, we can do it then, I'm good with that, I don't care.
I can do it on the 7th.
Let's do that.
Seventh.
We can
November
do
the
it in the
7th, yes.
afternoon. What time?
One's fine.
Noon, well, I mean, really, that's a Brett.
Noon's fine.
And I mean,
Noon's fine.
12 o'clock, noon?
can we do it at 1? Or is that's everybody
That's
else?
fine.
That's fine, 1's fine.
That's good.
Everybody?
That's my lunch hour.
5 minutes.
1, 2.
All right, Jim, you'll put that down.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah, we do that, we know Dusty can't talk to me
For
no
more than an hour.
Brevity will be at a premium at that meeting.
Right,
So it's gonna be Monday the 7th, is that
Yep.
right?
Monday the 7th,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Thank y'all.
All right,
Thank you.
see you then. All right, anyone else in the audience wish to be heard tonight? Any citizens wish to be heard? All right, Mr. Thursby, we'll start with you.
The only thing I wanna say is it's good to have Miss Murphy back and, I know she's been through a rough time, but we're glad you're here. Thank you. That's all I got.
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Well, anything.
I don't have any.
You don't have anything? Just remind everybody on the 29th, Cheltenham having their day of healing. And, anybody can attend that, it starts at 3 o'clock. If you're at the Washington Gym,
Yes, sir.
in the gym, okay. So if you can make plans to be there, they'd love to have you. I only got a short thing, and I know Jim said a while ago, we, found somebody to clean up that lot for $800, and I think we're talking about the same person. He don't have a business license to work in the city of Port St. Jay, so we can't use him.
Actually, he came in and got.
Okay, because I told him he had to, if he wanted to do
Yes,
business.
sir, so he did come and see,
Okay, well, what brings me to the point that, you know, talking to Therese, there's a lot of businesses like that, Lawn Care, whatever, that have not renewed the business license. And the only thing I keep hearing all the time from people when I'm getting coffee in the mornings are, you know, it's a level playing field. They just want everybody to do what if they gotta get a business license, and I'm the same way in my business, I don't want nobody working without insurance, if I gotta buy insurance. So that's what we are regulators, and I don't know how we can, I don't know if some way we could get Richie, maybe, to call some of these ones that haven't renewed,
that's
and just
part
say,
of it.
hey, have y'all gone out of business? If not, you need to come get a business license and work in the city. And this other guy told me he was unaware because he could do it in the county, didn't have to have a license.
We talked to Ms. Therese today about a couple of them that just give them a courtesy call, you know, hey,
Yeah.
look, are you aware you need to get a business license? So, yes, sir, we have been talking to her about that.
Okay. And, glad to have you back, yes, ma'am. I need a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
You got it? Right in.